Actually, if you can put things like, if you're doing it on your leg, which is the simplest thing to do, see if you can kind of put things out so she's got to reach at different angles. So she's getting, she's getting quite a bit of rotation there. That's getting away from you, isn't it? That's not so easy. You need to bring it in a little bit. Loops. There, she came up nicely that time. Okay, let's do it one more time. Put it down here. Drop it. Can you just kind of drop it? You can go after it. It's nice because it's got different textures on that. You just notice it's got corduroy and then a silky and then something with, each one has a different texture. That's good for you. You're supposed to be reaching with the other arm, Beth. You're supposed to be reaching with this arm. Actually, see if she's a little, she's just a little bit small, but see, we can have her like going over, propping on the outside arm, reaching across with the opposite one. But she's just a little short yet for this, but that would be the idea. And she could, maybe on your leg, we want to do it the way you're going to have to do it at home. Right. I just happen to like bolsters because then they don't have to sit on my bony leg. You might want to do it more like around, so that the main thing is so she fits with her legs. And again, what we want to do here is try and get her hips and her knees bent and her feet flat.
Right.
She's going to scoot out of that. That's hard. You need about 4 hands.
Right, yeah.
That's why I was doing it on the bolster, because I was pulling my feet around and placing my feet on top of hers. That's what makes it a little bit easier. The only bolster that we could loan out is that brown one, and she's not quite ready for it. She would be up too high. It's a little bigger than this one. So I think I'll just try it on your leg for you. She's doing nicely with her grasp. That's
Yeah,
no problem with that. She's getting a nice reach and. See how she's see how she's stiff. Okay, we really didn't want her to stiffen with the legs on that, just so she's more in a sitting position. She is very, very active.
She is.
Enormously active. Okay. But that's what I would call sort of like sitting with trunk rotation and reach. And I'll write these down too, so I'll leave those. Okay. I'm going to try one more thing here. I'm going to try her up on her knees. Let me see about how I do this.
Way over there.
Up here for her. Let me try this. You're so good to come to me so easily. Again, going to get you down, break up that extension pattern in the legs. Probably have her. See, she's right in the in-between stage. I probably going to have to go to the other one because I want her to see what I wanted. I wanted it high enough so she would stay on her knees like this. And see if we can get, what I want to do is push her, is kind of do a little, stimulate into the hips so that she's up in that pattern like that. Beginning to get up, and that's a nice way of her developing control in the hips and strengthening the thighs. It's a little bit high.
Yeah.
See, what she needs is like a system that's halfway in between where we are. Do you have what for me? Is that for me? Oh, okay, thank you. But you're not giving it to me. You just want me to see it. But you get the idea. You could use, you know what's good at home is like a coffee table. Do you have a coffee table that would be, or even a low couch where you could start having her, this is to prepare her for pulling up so that she's coming up and doing a little play so that she has, and what you want to do is try and get her to get those hips up underneath her, not so she's fully up on her knees. Now she's there, she came into half kneeling. How did you know that's what we want to do next? How about that?
Wow.
Yeah. Would you want to exchange, I'm going to have her at that next lower table. We're going to work on half kneeling since she suggested it. So she's ready to work on these kind of things, you know, on both kneeling and half kneeling. Okay, back again to kneel. Okay, get those knees underneath. Again, you can see I'm just putting my knees on either side of her. But like, if you have a coffee table that's at least, you know, a relatively low one, that's a nice, you know, can be a nice size for her to work at. That. Now she's down, if you're not giving her a little bit of extra boost, she's going to drop down like she is now.
Right.
Okay, where she's going to really get the strengthening is all the way up. So I'm going to give her a little extra, and I'm pushing into her hips to get her up on her knees. Like that. I'm just giving, see what I'm doing?
Yeah.
Kind of, but she's also trying to move out because she's having to work harder when she does this. Okay, let's get you this way so the camera can see. Oh, you just so wiggly. We'll try it again. Back, up on knees. There we go, Beth. Okay. So you can see what she is trying to push out of it. Okay, get her up and then get her hips up. And again, the other thing she's doing is spreading her knees. Okay, so if we can just get, she's just, it's probably just, we're pushing her a little bit. She's not quite, she doesn't think she's quite ready for this yet. But there, now she came up herself. I really didn't help her with that maneuver. She came right up onto her knees. Do you see Ruth out there? There. Now, and she's holding that pretty good. Now, we'll see if she will bring that foot forward, okay? Because the next position we want to work with is half kneel. Oh, I know. We're going to try and hold it because you have to work hard. You have to work hard with half kneeling. That gets her ready for pulling herself up. If she can get used to this, getting the leg underneath her like that. Well, that takes more control and more balance to do that. That's not something she probably will choose on her own for a while yet, and you're just going to kind of start sneaking it in. Because what she's doing is she's leaning over on me, but see what she wants to do?
Yeah.
She wants to come right up. She wants that weight on her feet because she pushed up herself there. See, so, but what we want to do is we want her to go through the right sequence so that she's getting used to the kneeling and then half kneeling and then pulling to stand from half kneeling. I'm going to do that with your other leg so that you're in this kind of, whoa, see how quickly you sneak those legs around? She is quick, very quick. Yes, you are. Let's get that right down there, up on your knees. Trying to get that hip forward a little bit too. There. She's on the knee now, and I have the other foot down. The other thing, she's pretty sensitive, and she's moving that foot a lot. She's not keeping, you know, like there's some plantar reflexes. It feels like to me because she's not wanting to keep that foot down. And if she had like a shoe on, she wouldn't be so sensitive. I think she's, you know, just pretty sensitive.
I wanted to ask
with
you
the
about
bare
shoes.
feet.
What do you think about what kind of should I be putting shoes on her? And
You know, the shoe that I like real well, like for The first shoe is one that, it's a real nice little soft leather one that they have down at Junior Bootery. And it's a high top, but it's real soft. And we have several Downs kids that are in that shoe. I'm not sure just what they call it, but they come in pink for the girls. They're real cute, and the sole has kind of a little insert, but it has a nice built-up medial arch, which gives the extra support for the inside of the foot. And it's a real well-built little shoe. And it's nice because it's got it's a flexible sole, and yet it supports where it needs. And I think they have them both in low top and high top, but I would suggest the higher top.
Where's
But
the Junior Bootery?
it's down on Court Street. There's a man, I think, and his son that operate it, and they are really, they're the best ones in town, like for kids. Seem to be very knowledgeable. Is she wanting to get up on her? Is she really pushing a lot to get up on her feet right now?
No.
You haven't? Okay, because I would kind of discourage it until she's gone through some of the sequences.
Right.
And because like some people are so because she will be. I mean, she's the way she's pushing. I could feel her really wanting to come on up. But if she starts coming up too soon, a lot of times what you have is she will use a very stiff legged approach
Yeah, I
to
really
it.
wanted to
So the crawl,
first,
I would
right.
really try and get a lot of the crawling for her. I think that would get her much more ready for it. I'm going to also, I just want to watch her in a tummy crawl just to see whether she's doing a nice total body tummy crawl, whether she's using both sides of the body equally. I'm going to bring you back here and can you crawl to mom? Can you tummy crawl to mom?